Well, what does they say here? Aviate, navigate, communicate. Oh, such things I have never seen before. Welcome to the Superpilotish channel. My name's Graham Wilson, and today in my basement, I'm going to be doing a book review on Flying in the Face of Fear by Kim K.C. Campbell. So, I just finished this up yesterday, and I thought, I'll do a little book review because I'm always looking for things to do on this channel. And I was thinking, okay, like it, a good book. Okay, and this is another thing about like flying in the face of fear. Mhm. Okay, I don't really do like book reviews too much, so I'm kind of, well, I'm all fearful here, but that's okay. There's only 30 people that watch this, anyways. She'll probably never see it anyhow, but still, good book. And I'm gonna treat it today as if okay, one of the things that Kim, I'll call her Kim because I know her name's Kim on the book. Oh yeah, me and Kim, we go way back, like since I bought it on Amazon. But anyways, I'll just be informal here. She's a retired Air Force colonel. But yeah, so what Kim was saying in the book was about doing a debrief. And that's something that all of us pilots always do after, if there's any type of training, or in her case, if there's a mission. Afterwards, there's a debrief where, okay, where this, and I'm kind of fortunate here that I'm going to take off my my uniform epaulets or whatever, and she described it in the book where if you're doing a debrief, that's where, okay, the main focus of the debrief is to get to improve for the future. That's the real thing. There might be a little bit of okay, that didn't do too well, or this was really good. And so I'm going to do that on her book. I'm going to debrief her book, and it's easy because she's not here to like say, well, what do you mean? And shoot down all of my suggestions. But overall, good book. So I'm going to do we're going to use Air Force Blue today on my handy dandy whiteboard, and we're going to do a now this is something that it was she kind of mentioned it in the book, the structure of how you do a debrief. So that'd be helpful for anyone that's in she kind of caters to the corporate world a little bit now these days. And hey, Nefarious, thanks for coming in here to the chat. And so I was thinking about the standard, and I'm sure she would know this too, is the crap sandwich method. So it's a sandwich with crap in the middle, but usually people will use the if you were in the Air Force, you would definitely say the SHIT sandwich. And that's what we usually use in the industry, but we will not use that today on the Super Pilotish channel. And I will draw my famous drawing of the crap sandwich. And I've done a video on this before. And well, that's a pretty good looking sandwich with a bunch of crap in the middle. And so when I was learning how to be a flight instructor, they always said to, when you're debriefing your student, you should use the crap sandwich method, which I will get into. And then on my actual what was it? Somebody I was teaching, anyways. No, I think it might have been right on my test. The examiner, he said, okay, there's the crap sandwich, but with the olive. I was like, oh, olive, that's cool. What's that? So there's the olive in your sandwich. But I'm going to change this here. You are going to get, for the very first time ever explained anywhere, and I just thought it up in my head, is the crab sandwich with the olive, which some people know about, on the silver platter. So here we are. We got our nice silver platter down here. And I'll explain what that is as I go through it. Oh boy, look at that tasty crab sandwich. So the way that this works when you're debriefing somebody, and you can do this for like whether it's an employee review or anything where you gotta kind of give a little bit of criticism, and this is a very formal way of doing it that just works. So the olive on the top, we're going to work our way from the olive all the way down to the silver platter. Olive on the top is where you ask your student or your employee or whoever, or in this case, the author, hey, how do you think you did? I'm sure she'd be quite happy with her. She's not here to answer, but I'm sure she'd be quite happy with the results. And she's been selling a few of these things available on Amazon. And so, okay, so she said, yeah, I'm sure she would say, yeah, I thought things are going pretty well. And I would tend to agree. Okay, now you get the first layer here of your crap sandwich is for you got to give them I wouldn't really say compliments, but because you don't want to I don't know, boost up someone's ego too high. You're the most amazing pilot in the world, or you're the most amazing employee in the world. You're not going to do that, but you're going to say the things that went well on that flight throughout the year, however you want to do that. So I took a few little notes here. The very few little. That's another thing she says in the book all the time is that you should always try to be prepared. And I usually slack on that here, but it's not really my job here, so that's okay. And oh, hey, Shecky, I see you in the chat. Okay, so I will stick to this and the good things about the book. Okay, so I thought the pace of the writing was very good. Where it's always very enjoyable when you get a book and you can just read it and you kind of just keep going and going and going and going. And you're like, oh. I got to do my show at noon here today. And so it's like the pace was good. Like it's I wouldn't say that it's something, oh, I just couldn't put it down. I think that's a little over the top, but I would say there's a tendency to keep reading. We'll put it that way. Don't want to get her pilot ego too big here. And so anyways, another thing about this was that it was a good mix of writing. I was kind of I don't know. I guess like if you know how pilots are, and especially fighter pilots, is that they can be stubborn. They can be very I don't know. Some pilots can be a little bit arrogant, not too much. Most pilots are kind of about the same level, but some are like over the top. And oh, Vanessa's in here too. Hi. Yeah, so some of these pilots can have like pretty big attitudes, and from what I've found, the fighter pilot people, yeah, they they kind of have the biggest attitude, and they're the most like aggressive or competitive, something like that. You can tell she's really competitive here, but that's kind of how you have to be a fighter pilot, because if you're in a dogfight or something like that, you have to survive, and it's almost like a battle of wills, and how can you keep your head together and keep the game. So that's why if you're ever applying to the military, they like to see that you're involved on like team sports, stuff like that. It's so that you kind of have the idea of working in a team, and which is what she talks about a lot in the book. The other thing is that when the military, they want you to be involved with team sports. Well, that's for your health, your medical, and stuff like that too. But so what was I going to say there? Team, medical, okay, and what else was I going to say there? Oh yeah, and then so that you have that competitive edge, and so there you go. You're a little more aggressive that way. I think I lost where I was going on that, but whatever. I was going off script. So, anyways, the way that it's written here is that it kind of engages the reader a little bit, where it's kind of like when you're watching a movie and it's like you're laughing, ha ha ha, and then oh no, I'm sad, like that. That's a good writer that can get that out of the reader, where you're happy, you're sad, you're feeling the characters' triumphs and pitfalls and stuff like that. So I thought that was well done there too. So well done. We're still on the top level. I'm getting to the crap later. Yeah, and then the other thing was really refreshing, I thought, was that because when you're a pilot, you're reading things, or you read stuff in the newspaper, or you see movies, and there's always stuff that's wrong, where the pilot's sitting there just waiting. There it is. Okay, no, that's the wrong runway number. They would never use that. There was, what was that? That was something in one of those movies there. Was it Catch Me If You Can? I think where the guy pretended to be the airline pilot and deadheaded all over the place. And he's like, he's looking out the window. Yeah, I remember coming in on runway 44, and there's no such runway as runway 44 in the world because it doesn't work that way. The highest number you get is 36 because it's based on compass heading. So, anyways, and then the pilot goes, "Oh, they didn't have an expert, review this. They didn't pay for superpilotish to take a look at the script and say, oh, there it is, there it is." Which I always thought that'd be kind of a cool job, is to be like a script reviewer. Someone's making a movie, and I could go through and or take it to the airport and say, "What do you think about this, guys? Ha 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 ha," and then change it to make it more realistic. But anyways, I guess they got Chat GPT and AI for that nowadays, or the directors just don't care. So, anyways, yeah. So there we go. There's all of our. You got a few compliments there on the top of the crap sandwich. Now we're gonna get into the crap. We are. And because I did put in my name down here, Captain Criticism. So I'm gonna be the critic today. Ooh. But I mean, you're not really doing anyone any help if you critique something and you don't give them any helpful hints for the future. People will keep making the same mistakes. So some of these things that might have been, I mean, they're really minuscule. I had to really dig for some mistakes in the book, but or like I don't know, just a few little things where I kind of went, and it did detract a little bit from the reading there. So there was a few parts in the book where she went between it was mostly all written in the past tense. So I flew into Bagram Air Force Base and da 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 da. So she talks a lot about like fighting in Afghanistan and the Iraq where she was stationed and stuff. So that's kind of cool. So okay, I flew into Bagram base or whatever airport. And then it was like another part where, okay, the missile is coming up to hit my airplane. I look down and I can't see anything. So it kind of went from the past tense to the present tense. And my guess on that is that because when I've seen it on the YouTubes here that she does like public speaking, and it's very dramatic to be in the present tense. And that seems to be the way it is for short stories nowadays. A few years ago, I wrote some sort of short story and I submitted it to the up here in Canada, the CBC Canada Broadcast and Canadian Broadcasting Corporation. So like every year they do like some kind of writing contest. So I submitted it, my masterpiece. And of course, anything you write has to be a masterpiece, right? It's absolutely perfect. There couldn't be anything wrong. How could I not get first place in this contest? But yeah, I didn't even get an honorable mention or nothing. But I wrote it like, okay, yeah, I did this when I was a kid, or that happened. It's like that was the story. But the winners, I find the winners of this short story competition every year at CBC, they always do it in present tense. So I guess that's kind of the style nowadays, is to do it in, oh, I look at the blue marker. It almost matches my shirt. It totally doesn't match my shirt. I am embarrassed, fear overcomes me. Oh, I start to weep in my basement, whatever. And oh, so dramatic. So I think that's the way that she does her speaking, is to do it in the first person, which is very dramatic. But I don't know, for me to switch back and forth between the tenses in the book, I was a little bit like, I don't know if you're supposed to do that or not, or you can write whatever you want. But I kind of it was a little distracting, we'll put it that way, but nothing too bad. Other tiny little picky things was the page layout. I could see it looked like they whoever the editor, it might not even been, maybe it wasn't Kim that had anything to do with it. Maybe it was the editor was trying to get out of the office that day. But it was like just and only like some weirdo that was looking for problems, or some OCD freak would notice, like, the distance from the bottom of the page on this side is it's it's 3 millimeters less than the other side. It's not right. Yeah, so it's like, so yeah, it was like the layout was, but for some OCD pilot guy would be like me, that's weird. And tiny distraction. And the other thing there too was she does a good job of at the end of each chapter. It's kind of compartmentalized well, but the at the end she'll kind of summarize everything under considerations for leaders, because this is the book's kind of targeting leadership and talking about, well, flying in the face of fear. And what's it say? A fighter pilot's lessons on leading with courage. So you're leading with courage here. And so she has considerations for leaders, which is, that's a good thing to put at the end of the chapter. But it was just kind of the layout. I think that's kind of an important thing that probably could be on its own page rather than just I don't know, just to prove what I'm talking about. I'm not just pulling things out of my. Okay, here we go. So this is where it's done. Okay, considerations for leaders. Over here on this one here. Oh, there we go. Considerations for leaders. That's the way I would do it on every page. Or like at the end of each chapter. Whereas we got this other one here. Considerations for leaders. It's kind of in the middle of the page. So I would probably put it, leave that all blank, put it on the next page. But that's just me and my amateur layout, and I know absolutely nothing about book publishing. So what do I know? There you go. But I mean, if you're going to be laying on the crap, there we go. We got the crap there, all the bad stuff. So, and then the thing is here, the next layer of our crap sandwiches is how to improve. Well, you would improve that by and she talks about in the book, what would be the root cause of me calling that crap. It could be, you can always use your 5 whys. Okay, the problem was that it was that some guy in his basement was being critical of the book. Okay, there's one why. And why am I critical? Because I'm OCD. Well, I'm not, but whatever. You could kind of go through that. But I would say the root cause there is probably not so much Kim's doing, is maybe more of the editor and stuff. So to improve that situation, maybe get a second opinion, something like that. Okay, here, Mr. Editor, or I don't know. Okay, I'm not an editor. If it was a student of mine for flight instruction, I'd tell him exactly what to do. So for that, maybe, or it could be something for the publisher to even work on, saying like, is this the proper layout that we should be doing for this? I don't know, second opinion. Or you could always run it by some, like, pilots have tons of opinions on everything because they're all stubborn and we're all right all the time. So you run anything by a pilot, you're going to get it. You're going to get an honest response. You might not like it, but it'll be honest anyways. And so this is my new addition to the crab sandwich with the olive, of course, the crab sandwich on the silver platter. And what is the silver platter, you might ask? I just invented it today. So after you're doing your review of your book, after you're doing your review of the employee review for the annual review, whatever you're doing, maybe at the end of your flight lesson, and so now you've gone through the oh, this is great. Okay, now you suck. Now you got lots of work to do. Like, well, I mean, you don't put it like that, but the person will take it that way. It's like, crap. But the silver platter is, and I always did it whenever I just kind of did it naturally because I could see my student a little bummed out and everything. So I don't want anyone to be all bummed out on the Super Pilotish channel. So the silver platter is a compliment. So like, okay, we had some good things up here. This was a little bit goofy. This is how that we're going to be improving that. The silver platter is, but overall, good flight. But overall, good book. But overall, things are okay. Something like that. Overall, you've been a good worker, and we're happy to have you at the company. Something like that. So that is The new edition. I should patent that because everybody knows the crab sandwich. Some people know the olive, but I just invented the. I'm kind of proud of myself actually for inventing the silver platter. Crab sandwich on a silver platter. Or there we go. And there's a review. Kind of killed two birds with one stone there. Yep. So once again, flying in the face of fear. Good job, Kim. I don't know who you are, but good job. And do you know how hard it would be to do this type of thing too? And that's I give her a lot of credit to actually writing the book. And you would be like, how many people out there actually write a book? Like nobody. And it would be a scary thing to do. But you could, but if she's used to overcoming fear, it'd be like, oh, I got to write a book. Whatever, just another fear thing. I got to go. I'm getting used to overcoming this fear stuff after getting shot at and stuff over in the Middle East. Yeah, book, that's nothing. Or like going on a YouTube channel. Who cares? I'm not getting shot at. I'm not starving or anything. I'm not getting evicted from my apartment. So, yeah, so it just kind of put things into perspective there. And so, yeah, there we go. A decent book. I would recommend. Okay, Christmas is not quite there yet, but it wouldn't be the worst Christmas book. And I was trying to think what would be the market for this book to, who would really be interested in buying it. So it's available on Amazon. I'm not sure if they do like Kindle and ebooks and all that other weird stuff. Audiobook, I don't know, but anyways, on Amazon, it's got it, and that's where I bought it. It would be good to buy this for as a gift for Christmas or something. Maybe it would probably be. I would say it'd be good for, well, obviously anybody that's going into the Air Force. Yeah, that'd be good for them. It would be good for some like corporate kind of leader management kind of people. It could be useful. I would say it would be useful for like a manager or a team leader if their upper management is into good leadership. I would say this wouldn't help out anybody if you got a bad boss ahead on top of you. Hey, I got all these great ideas about leadership, and our team is we're gonna be better. We're gonna have I don't know, safer workplace. Our production's gonna go up. All this stuff, and then the boss at the top goes like, "No, I got to hit my quarterly profits. Take your leadership and stuff it." So there are, people out there like that. It's their company. They can do what they want, but it's, I would say if the top manager, like in my experience, it's like the owner of the company sets the tone for all the rest of the company. So if you're in a good company with a good boss, the good owner or good board of directors or something, that would be helpful if they're into good leadership. And so anyways, that would be good. But even still, any old pilot would like it too. So there we go. That would be my recommendations for that. And that's about all I kind of wanted to talk about there. So once again, Flying in the Face of Fear, good book, now available now on Amazon. And thank you, Kim, too, for writing the book. So now I had a topic that I could talk about. I didn't have to think of one. So that's cool. And so, yeah, we're just going to go next to a bunch of, we'll see if there's any questions or any, I don't know, any questions or comments or anything like that. Okay. Okay, yeah, Vanessa Kitty here. So Vanessa used to be in the Air Force. She's retired too, just like Kim is. And so she had to inspect the secure pilot kitchens, etc., on active duty. They are always great fun to chat with. So I'm glad you had a good time chatting with people over there in the Air Force. What else we got here? Okay. This is something I don't know. Possible side effects of text-based MUDs. MUDS, present tense writing. I have no idea what a MUDS is there, Vanessa, but maybe someone else out there does. And now you got Vanessa's opinion on that. You know what? I'm going to Google that right now. What do we got there? MUDs. I might as well take care of it now, because then, like, I'll never look into it again, or I'll be sitting somewhere and I'll be like, oh, what was that? Multi-user dungeon? No. Top MUD sites. MUD. Okay. MUD is mean. There's a whole bunch of different MUDs out there, Vanessa. What do we got here? Oh, multi-user dungeons on a computer mainframe that are stories which are text. Oh, what are we doing here? Multi-user dungeons. Okay, yeah, that's what I pulled up on Google. And it's like multi-user dungeons on a computer mainframe that are stories which are all textual-based interactions to get through them. Maybe. Who knows? Who knows? Okay, so that is about it for today. And okay, today is Wednesday, so that means that I'm going to do my oil change on my motorcycle tomorrow, and all that other maintenance I've been putting off. Yeah, like on my last show there, I was talking about all the maintenance I was lazy about doing on my motorcycle. So that's tomorrow's job. That's probably going to be about a 4-hour job, but I take a lot of breaks too. So, don't want to work too hard. And very good. So I'll be back on Friday, because I do this Monday, Wednesday, Friday at noon Eastern. And we'll just kind of shut her down. So thank you for watching. Bye.